Hey y'all, it's your girl Breezy, and you know I love to run my mouth. So, first of all, one of the best things that the Breakfast Club did was bring on Loren Lorosa. I think the vibe of the show and the switch up is amazing, was very much needed, and is very much appreciated from your listening audience. So, one shout out to the Breakfast Club. So I saw Gary Owen's post about how he felt about comments that Loren had made about him on the Breakfast Club. And I said, because I watched the Breakfast Club, like while Jess was out and Loren was her replacement, and now that Loren is on, I got from her personality immediately from watching her that she's very educated, but she's very confident. She is very articulate, and she is always willing to have a conversation. She's not ever afraid. If you bring something to her that you may have felt a way about, or you thought she was incorrect on, or even if she was actually incorrect on it, she is very much always open to have a conversation. She never backs down from, this was the point that I was making, this was the reason I said that. I get your point. Okay, that makes sense. She's very logical and common sense based. So I was ready to hear what she had to say in her reply to it, because when I saw Gary's post, I said, nah, Gary. And I'm gonna actually put a screenshot of what I put in the comments on his post about her, because my comment was basically to the fact, I don't think that she was saying nobody's checking for you like that, but nobody is checking for you in a rap beef. Nobody's coming for you or putting you in a rap beef lyric. We all knew when we, like she said, and I'm gonna put her clip to him. I did chop it up in pieces, so it's not the full clip. I'll put a link of the clip down below. But I did think that, as soon as we heard that lyric from Kendrick Lamar, we knew it was about Andrew Schultz, Shits and Gigs, being on his podcast, those comments that were made, because there was all of that drama with black women about the things that Shits and Gigs had said on their visits to Andrew Schultz podcast and to the Poor Minds podcast. So there was no denial or mistake. Everybody can say, oh, y'all don't know, he didn't say. We are very clear he wasn't talking about Gary Owens. Like, Gary Owens is not in social media like that, to the point that people are like, oh, you talk about black women. That's how you started your career. Like, when Kendrick Lamar was a little bitty boy, you was on Comic View talking about black women. So I don't think Kendrick Lamar is now putting you in a rap beef. We know real time in social media what's going on. That's who he was talking about. But y'all check out what Loren had to say.
Hey, Gary Owen. So I listened to this.
Listened to the Breakfast Club, and they had Andrew Schultz on, whose new specials on Netflix. And I love Andrew, but they brought up the Kendrick Lamar thing. And I'm listening to it, and Charlemagne is and Andrew, they're having fun with it. They're going back and forth. And all of a sudden, the girl that fills in for Jess Hilarious, that was there when I was there a few months ago, they said, Kendrick has never really said who he's talking about. Andrew's like, how do we even know Kendrick was talking about me? I go, and Andrew was like, Kendrick's fans were really coming at him. And when Kendrick said, run up on your ops, Andrew was like, in his mind, Kendrick gave the okay to run up on Andrew and his family. So Andrew's like, all right, if you want to play that game, I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna say you short. I'm gonna say I could violate you in prison if it was just us two. Things like that. Now, Envy, Charlemagne, and Schultz was like, we don't even know who Kendrick was talking about. He could have been talking about Gary Owen. And literally, their girl goes, ain't nobody checking for Gary Owen. And I was like, I tell you, this girl, I can't remember her name. She, I don't know what her issue with me is, but I'd be like, what? How did I catch a stray? I'm not even there. Ain't nobody checking for Gary Owen. And I'm like, well, I just did 12 shows in Baltimore. Somebody checking for me. I'm sold out in Nashville this weekend. Somebody checking for me. You can tell she takes her hip hop real serious and the lyrics real serious. I could tell when I was there. I go, so she's like, Andrew, how can you say that? And he almost was defending Kendrick, but I was like, oh, she takes those lyrics serious, takes her hip hop serious. It reminded me, it was like when Tyrese got mad at me because I said a joke. Like, in her mind, I'm not a real celeb. I'm not a real entertainer. She doesn't take me serious. She doesn't feel. I bet you in her mind, if she was booking the show, she wouldn't have me on. I bet you in her mind, she goes, no, Gary, he's not big enough to be on our show. I could be wrong. I can't wait to go back. I hope she's filling in for Jess so we can talk about this in person. I hope she sees the podcast, and we're definitely going to clip this up. And I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I think it's Loren, something like that. But yeah, she was trying to get on my neck about my divorce. I caught her stray with the Kendrick thing again. It's like, pfft. You got to see it though. Like, pfft, ain't nobody checking for Gary Owen. And you saw him shove Andrew, go, oh, what do you mean? But it's almost like when you're drunk, like a drunken tongue speaks a sober mind. That's how I felt. Like, oh, her true feelings just came out right there. I caught that. I see what's happening here. Like, she really don't like me. Like, I might go on the Breakfast Club and she might gloss over it, but deep down, she don't like me. And that's obvious, and it's oozing out of how she reacts when my name comes up. It's just, ugh. I bet you if whatever time my name come up, I bet you she's never said nothing good. I can almost guarantee it.
And I just wish you would have also included this part of it. At the moment, he's like, okay.
How we know he wasn't talking about Gary Owens? That's the other
a good
thing.
point.
First of all, ain't nobody.
We don't know.
That's a good point. Whoa.
I didn't know. Y'all not about to twist that.
Gary was the first person to jump out.
I'm not about to twist that.
Gary was the first person to jump out.
In that moment, we knew exactly what he was talking about. Because I heard it and I knew exactly what he was talking about.
I didn't think it was me. I was like, why was he talking about me?
Because of the shits and giggles and all the laughs. And
I thought he was talking about Matt Rife.
Black women.
Maybe he was talking about Matt.
That's what I thought. I was like, he got to be talking about Matt Rife.
And everybody kept saying he was talking about me. And I was like, wait, if he's talking about me and is he telling people to kill my friends? Well, I got to do something about this. I got to do something. I got to do something. Like, I'm not a tough guy. I'm a certified lover boy.
Oh, my God. Because like I said in the room, it was not a shot at you at all. It was me redirecting the accountability. Like, no, we're not going to bring in another white comedian into this. And it could have been any white comedian. They could have said Bill Burr. They could have said anybody. And I would have said the same thing, because it wasn't about you or the comedian in that moment. It was about Andrew and the conversation that we were having. When Kendrick dropped that line, that Shits and Giggles podcast, when Andrew made all them, the jokes or whatever about the black women and all that, that shit was so loud, it was no way. Everybody knew who Kendrick was talking about. So, when you get there, I'm the senior news producer at The Breakfast Club. In the interviews that I do, I ask questions. I do. I've done that with every celebrity. Yes, I do know that you were a celebrity. I do consider you a celebrity. I enjoy your comedy. But I do what I do because it's my job. It's nothing personal at all. I think you're taking it very personal. And I do think that it's, I was going to say, I think it's very, shocking, but it's not, because this happens all the time. And not just with the two men I sit in the room with. So not with Unc Charlemagne, or not with my bro, not with Envy. But anytime I've ever worked with a man, when I was at TMZ, when I was, anywhere, what I've always come to find is people really pick and choose who they take issue with about certain things. And the time when you were on the show and I asked you about your divorce, and, we had that conversation because you had been on a national comedy tour talking about it and talking about it everywhere else. You did Shannon Sharp and talked about it. And there was no issue when you were asked those questions anywhere else, but you took issue when I asked you about it. Yes, come on back. I don't know if you drink, but I'll pour you up a drink, and you know what I mean? We can talk about it. I would love to actually engage in this conversation, because I can't help how something made you feel. I know my intention, and I stick beside my intention. My intention was not to try and play you, was not to say nobody checking for you that you're not a celebrity. We know you're a celebrity. We know you're successful. And you spelled Loren wrong too in your captions. It's Loren, not Lauren. And when you clip it up for your podcast, just please add the full context. That's all I'm asking you to do. I can't change your feelings on how you felt. you know, and I'm not here apologizing for anything because I didn't do anything wrong.
All right, so I ran my mouth on that one. Let me know what you think down in the comments. What are your thoughts? Be sure to like, comment, share. Be sure to subscribe and make sure you come back because you know I'm going to be running my mouth again.